بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم. Hello dear students of المناهج schools, grade 12. Our English lesson today is going to be two parts. The first part is going to be vocabulary. The second part is going to be grammar. Let's start with the first part, which is vocabulary. We are going to learn about words easily confused. So if you look at this sentences, we are going to complete the sentences using these words given at the top of this exercise. We have 4 words. If you need it, if you have a noun like match, you can say matches, or if you have a verb, you can add ing or use the past tenses. The first group of words, we have competition, match, game, and race. All of them are nouns, and all of them are related to supports the first one. Is competition. The verb is compete. Compete, I am competing. I enter the competition. In competitions, people try to find out who is number one, who is the best match. And game can be confusing to many. Please pay attention. I'll try to clarify the difference when we use the word game in the context of sport. We mean the sport itself. Let me give you an example. If you ask somebody, why don't you play football? Why don't you play? Everybody plays football. Why don't you play football? And he says, I don't like the game. I don't like the game. That means he doesn't like the sport. He doesn't like football or soccer match. Means 2 players or maybe 2 teams are competing against each other. Playing against each other. Race is about the fastest animal, the fastest man, woman, or car. One last week's Formula 1 race, this one is obvious, its race was won by a British driver, maybe Hamilton. Its race, okay, the boxing ended in a draw. Draw means nobody won and nobody lost. They were both equally good. Between 2 brave boxers or fighters, it was a match between 2 brave fighters. Do you think I should enter the short story competition to see who can come out with the best short story? Oh, I like watching squash, but I don't understand all the rules of the tennis. Yes. Similar. Yeah, the same. It is played inside a room and has different rules, but you need a racket to hit the ball. I like watching squash, but I don't understand all the rules of the game. Of the sport, you can replace the word game with a sport. I don't understand all the rules of the sport. Now, let's go to the second group of the words: fans, spectators, participants, audience. All of them are nouns, and all of them are related to people, human beings. Fans, people who have great interest in sports or music or movies. There are fans if they are very interested. These things. Spectators, people who go and attend an event like sports. If you go to the stadium and watch them, you are a spectator. Participants, people who are involved in an event, who takes part in it. Okay, an event, audience, and spectators can be confusing to many. So please listen to me very carefully. Do you know the word audio? Audio, the word audience, is related to audio. Audio means sound, something you hear. If you go to an event where listening is more important than watching, then you are one of the audience. If you go to an event where looking is more important than listening, then you are a spectator. Do you get it? Even if it's not sports, if it involves more watching, then you are a spectator. More listening when you go to watch a movie. Are you a spectator or audience? You are one of the audience. Movies was actually you do a lot of listening, people talking in movies. Do you get it? Good. They express their satisfaction, they were pleased by applauding. When you applaud, you do this. I am applauding the speakers. Somebody was speaking and these people were listening, so they are audience. The writer stopped to sign autographs for his loyal. His loyal means they give constant support, loyal fans, loyal wala, okay? These people are into reading books written by this author. This writer, yes, the rally driver nearly crashed into some spectators standing at the side of the road. So be careful when you go to watch something dangerous. Go to a safe place. Okay, number 4. All participants in today's fun race must go to the starting line. Of course, they start so that they can go for the race. Now the third group of the words, take part and take apart, take place. All these words are verbs. Take part means participate. It means you become participant. Do you know the word participant? When you take part, you become a participant. You take a part. When you take a part, you disassemble, تفكك. When you disassemble, that means you take the parts. The art of something, when something takes place, it means it happens in a specific place. Okay? The 2018 Olympic Games in Beijing is a city in China, Beijing, okay? 2008. Yes, it happened, took place and take place. Are you going to in the drawing competition? So what you are taking part? Are you going to take part in the drawing competition? Be careful. Do you really know how to the car engine? Here it means that you do the right thing, the car engine take apart. This symbol, okay? Car, now the last group of the words, single, alone, only, unique, lonely. Okay? These are adjectives, except for only, which is a conjunction. Only is a conjunction. Single can mean not married or having no partner or all by himself or herself alone. Alone means nobody is with that person at that moment or that place. Only means except, that when I say only women can enter this place, that means nobody can enter except women. Okay? Unique means there is nothing like it, one of its kind. It is lonely and alone can be confusing, so pay attention to these two words. Lonely is a bad thing. Alone is not a bad thing. Maybe you are happy and you have friends and family, but you are home alone. Nobody's with you at home. But that is not a bad thing. Lonely means you feel sad because maybe you lost someone. If you love or you have no friends, a number of diamonds are on display. Display means you can go and see these diamonds in the museum. A number of unique, yes, diamonds are on display. Our son isn't married. He is still single, not married. Were you when you hear the burglar break into the house? This man is a burglar. He is a thief. He enters houses when nobody is there To steal or break into means gets into by breaking a door or window. Were you alone when you heard? My grandfather feels. How does he feel since my grandmother passed away? Passed away means died. How do you think the old man feels? He feels lonely. He is sad. He lost his wife. Okay? Number 16 and the last one. Yes, the only children under the age of, okay? So now let's move to the second part of the today's lesson, which is about grammar. So please, this page is in your student's book, page 47. Okay, now let's go to the grammar. Be prepared to have the grammar, which is about questions and questions words. Okay, you're gonna learn how you can use some of these words in your daily life. If you are ready, let's start. Okay, grammar, questions and question words. Okay. Sammy bought a green pen yesterday. Okay, Sammy is what we call the subject of the sentence. Green pen is the object. Now, I don't see questions. We want to learn how to ask questions. The answer of our question should be Sammy. This is the short answer. Sammy, to ask the question, we will use question words like who, to ask about people. Also, which, to ask, is used for things or people. If we have limited choice, okay, what is only used for things, not people, if the choice is unlimited? Okay, what do we mean by limited and unlimited choice? We will get to this later. For now, let's ask our questions. We will use who because, okay, because the answer is Sammy, who bought a green pen yesterday. Who bought a green pen yesterday? Sammy bought a green pen yesterday. Okay. We know that Sammy went to the store and he bought something. We want to ask about that something. He bought what? Will we use, okay? We will use what, not which, why, how many things can you buy from stores? Thousands of things. You can buy a lot of things in the store. Maybe he bought this or that. Okay, a lot of things you can buy from a store. Unlimited choice, we will use what, not which. Okay, we use what, not which. What did Sammy buy yesterday? Okay, look, I see did here. Why did we use it? We didn't use. Okay, we use it. Which is an auxiliary verb after in the object. When we have an object, we should use an auxiliary verb. About, okay, we are asking about pen. You ask about the object. Use auxiliary verbs. What are observable verbs? Auxiliary verbs, yes. Do, does, did, am, is, are, has, have, okay, etc. We have a lot of auxiliary verbs. Do I know which? It depends. If the question is in the past, yesterday, use did. If it is every day or it happens in general, use do or does. If it's happening right now, use am, is, and are. and so on. So these auxiliary verbs are necessary to make your question right. Let's continue. Let's ask another question, but this time I know that Sammy went to the store and he bought a pen, but I want to know the color of the pen. Okay? The number of choices this time is limited. Limited choice because I know he bought a pen, but I want to know which pen. Use which, and which pen did Sammy buy yesterday? Did he buy the blue one, the green one, the red one? The choice is limited. Do you understand? Okay. And unlimited choice. Okay, let's continue. Let's ask another question, but this time Sammy bought a green pen for his brother. Yesterday I want the short answer to be his brother. First of all, you need to understand that Sammy is the subject, al-fa'il. You know that and the green pen is the object. What about his brother? His brother is also an object. It is object number 2. It is a second object. The first object is what we call the direct object. Okay, the first object is the direct object. Number 2, object number 2 is what we call the indirect object. If you start with direct object, you need to use for or till between the direct object and the indirect object. You can say, can I say I gave my pen to my brother, right? You need to or for. You can also say Sammy bought his brother a green pen yesterday. So you can see the first object and the second object can be exchangeable. We can put them in each other place. So we can switch these two objects between them. If you do not want to switch, it's okay. His brother is still object number 2. Look at this subject, this is still object, but you write it. First, if you do that, you don't use for or. Do you get it now? Let's ask the question, who did Sammy buy? A green pen? Okay. The object is his brother, is an object. Use auxiliary verb. Who did Sammy buy a green pen yesterday for? You must use for or to at the end of your question. This is very important. Let me give you another example using the verb give. Who did I give my book to? Who did I give my book to? I gave it to my brother. So it here is the book. Again, who did I give my book to? At the end you must use to or for. So the prepositions to and for at the end of the question. Buy and give are some of the verbs that can take two objects. We can do this with all English verbs. We can, yes, but the verb eat, if you say eat, you can only use one object. I ate my food. You can't use a second object. But with verbs like buy, give, offers, and show, these are not the only verbs, but these are the most commonly used verbs. الأكثر شيوعا to use two objects. Or they can have two objects. And we, okay, but now we finished our lesson today, but I want you to go to the questions in the workbook in grammar, page 35. So please go to your 35. Here are the questions and the answers. You can really go to 35 and answer grammar B and C, and then you come to the video and check your answers. Okay? Here are all the answers. As I said, it's better to not go with the answers now. Go to your workbook, check your understanding in page grammar 35, and then check your understanding. At the end, Thank you for your listening and watching this video. That's all I have for you today in our English lesson about grammar and confused words. And you are welcome to ask about anything you want about this lesson through our official channels and groups on WhatsApp. We all care about you. Remember, if you have anything, don't hesitate at all to ask at this channels for المناهج school. Thank you very much.